Boom! We're in the party. We're rocking and rolling. And thank you for joining me, Chris, on this episode of WINJECT TV. And I want to dive in and dial it in because we got a lot of things in the background working. We're moving and shaking in the background, but I want to bring it to the forefront and actually talk about podcasting and why it makes a difference, why it matters. And one of the things that we were talking back and forth is the big why. What's the deal? What's the deal? And why is it more important right now than any other time in the history of podcasting to get started and make it right? So thank you, Chris. For those that may not know Chris, I don't know where you've been. I don't know where you've been hiding, but Chris, thank you for being here, and let's tee it up, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. This has been going back and forth with myself and you, and obviously with the onboarding and the app development on the back end. Jason and Zach, shout out to Market House. This is their normal schedule time for Thursday. They're taking some time to deal with some contracts. There's been a lot of things in the background moving. There's been a lot of moving parts, and most people don't even know really what we're doing. They thought that, okay, yeah, we're leveraging podcasts. We're just going to teach people how to increase their brand awareness first and show awareness and get them distribute their product or service or show and teach them how to leverage media the right way, the ethical way, to increasing their own self. And the biggest issue the most pervasive issue that I do see with podcasters, they start a show. Hey, I have a show, I have a podcast, come motherfucking listen, right? And no one does, right? They might listen for a little while, but if you don't
hear that, it's crickets.
Crickets, man. And they die. And they're like, well, I'm not getting any return on investment of the time, energy, and I'm not making any money. It's not helping me at all.
Yeah.
I quit. Well, I can show you the right way to package up your show and get you to the right people. So I want everyone to think about plugging into the right source. And you're plugged into the right source. It's an infinite game. But you have to play an infinite game to see the results that you're searching for.
You can't run out of abundance.
No.
Right?
No.
There's no lack of abundance here. But I think I want to kind of pin you on this because I think it's really important for people to understand why WINJECT, why now, and what the difference is, because there's some unique characteristics that I don't want to gloss over. I don't want to miss out on. And I want you to explain why that this is the best time and this is the best route, because I think a lot of people don't really understand how complex and how much work and effort that has gone into this.
That's a great question. And yes, I know I appreciate spending a little time on this and not gloss over it, because you can easily just ignore how difficult this game is.
Yeah.
Especially when you're building something of this type of magnitude with so many moving parts, with so many different divisions. Essentially, with the podcasting side, there's so much opportunity with podcasting. You hear a lot of people talk about this. You need to go where your buyers are. Well, they're tuning in, but you're not captivating enough to hold their attention to draw them in.
Yeah.
You know my background and what I do for a living and what I really do, right? And brokering deals with some major corporations out there. But I just got done brokering one today for $2.7 million. But me brokering that type of deal, I don't go and meet them where they are to have a conversation. I'm meeting them with a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer for you. And that's how I structure packages. That's how I conduct business. But you have to make that shift. You mentioned abundance. You have to make that shift in your mind. There's enough out there for everybody. Yeah. There's enough downloads. See, here's the thing about downloads. People are only focusing on downloads. Who cares about downloads? I'm trying to put money in your pocket. And that's what we're eradicating, that number one statistic, and 98% of podcasters make $0, because you're getting on your show and you say, hey, come and check out my program. Come and check out my product and service. Well, you're not a salesperson. You're not structuring that and making it a no-brainer for you and no-brainer for your offers. Well, that's what we're doing here, is we're giving you an opportunity for you to be the talent and allow us to be the business that drives you. And you don't even have to pay us anything. Like you're paying for a membership just to have access to all the things that I have access to. That's the only thing you're paying us for.
Well, the beauty of that is that inside the membership group, it's not just hanging out and having a community. It's more than that, because a lot of people in the community already are contributing content that is absolutely free. And I want to make sure that people understand that having a community and having these resources is absolutely critical to the success of abundance. What I look at it as removing the friction from access and activity. And, even though, everybody wants numbers, but the numbers that I want are in the bank account. And one of the things that you have been bringing to the table is that access to the influence, the impact, and also the results. So talk about how that process and the philosophy came to be, and how you kind of molded this thing into existence, because it hasn't been straightforward and it hasn't been always easy, but I know that you've put in the effort and a lot of people have been in the scenes behind it. So what was the source of your inspiration, and why did you create this? Because you got other things going on as well.
Well, the main thing is, how do I say this the right way? I want to make sure that I structure this where people understand the level of understanding on how course creation works.
Yeah.
The back end and manipulating the back end of this in a way where I'm going to provide a platform for people to utilize it as a tool to structure their offers. You mentioned some of the courses and so many free courses. We have over 200 something hours of courses given to you and having access to for you to consume the content. But here's the number one problem with consuming content. 90% of people don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bridge that gap for you to do something with it. And how I'm able to do that is I do have 2 call centers, over 42 people now that in these 2 call centers that will be walking people through some of the courses, some of the content and what they want to consume. And these people don't make money from making a deal. What these people are educational placement experts. That's their job. Their job is to really place someone in the right course, the right program, the right show. So give you an example. Say you're a brand new person just signed up. Hey, what show did you come from? What kind of content do you like to consume? What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a call with one of our placement experts in the next 2 days. But here's some of the courses. Here's some things to start off with. You can get lost because it's so much stuff in here.
Right.
You can get lost. That way we're walking them through, and not to upsell them on anything. It's to give them access to certain things and then give them to how to. Here's how you go about making that happen. So the first time when this idea came up, it was all about figuring out how can I make them realize that I don't want to make money off of their programs, products, services, and goods. I'm trying to provide them and show them how they can reach their buyers where they are without them feeling like they're being sold. That's the whole key.
And that is the key, because ultimately, I see so many times, like we talked about, they start out with a podcast and they say, if I get a lot of numbers, a lot of visitors, then all of a sudden I can get sponsors. And I think if you turn that upside down and you have a community that's supportive, and you also, like you said, reach the buyers where they are, and you go into that with a different mindset. And also you have a guide that can actually help you along the way to get there.
Yes.
And the ideal outcomes that you're searching for, you're going to have much better results. You're going to have, you're going to accelerate that. It's like putting nitro in the tank. And so I can't stress it enough that we have this opportunity here, and it's a different model. And so, there's 2 sides of this also. And I don't want to fail to recognize that there are 2 sides of this, because there's people that want a podcast, and there's people that want to consume podcasts. So what about the listeners? Talk about the listeners, Chris, because I think it's important for us to share
it's so important. Well, merging together content creators and content consumers is really not as complex as most people think. I'm just inviting everybody to the same party.
Yeah.
Because you're 100% correct. There's people out there, and I used to be one of those that love to consume podcasts before I launched my own show. And I would like to tune into certain things that obviously with my level of understanding of what I was trying to accomplish. Podcasting is a calling card now.
Yeah.
It's just a way for people to get out their content, get out their conversations, or having fun, or promoting their music in an indirect way, and sharpen their skill set of the interview style. Well, what's happened in the world today is you have to go where everybody's at. Well, the content creators, they can create content. It's great. But the content consumers, for the listeners, we're creating a platform for you not to get lost in all the bull shenanigans out there of being sold by somebody that you don't even trust in the first place to buy from.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. The books that I have read and the books that I can enjoy reading haven't been written, you know what I mean? Just like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. The reason why is because the books today, some books, and I'm not trying to knock on the ones that do have great books. Anthony Trucks has a beautiful book just dropped. I think it was about 2 weeks ago, probably about 2 months ago now. Everything's bleeding together. But there's certain people that have books, but the whole book is convincing you why you bought the damn book. Do you see my point? So you can really get lost in some of the promotional stuff because people are trying to land sponsors rather than helping someone.
Yeah, and when you turn it upside down and you start helping somebody or you start adding value to a community, the Bob Berg principle, givers gain, and you think about what can I contribute to this community, and you love on that community and you thrive and you grow and you support that community, it turns it upside down. And then all of a sudden you have people that know, like, and trust you. You got visibility and authority because you're on a podcast, you're interviewing great guests that potentially could be also clients. And then you have an opportunity to actually announce this thing to other people that may not know you yet. And that's one of the things, that's one of the benefits of WINJECT is the amplification, the ability to expand the brand and your message to other people that might be willing and able and interested in your content. So expand on how that connectivity is working, because the flywheel is starting to turn and we have a lot of opportunity to catch up on. But I want to make sure that people understand and appreciate the amount of activity that could take place in this environment.
Okay, perfect example. Jess Lee Roadshow. Her show launched.
Yeah.
The Jess Lee Roadshow. We launched her show at the very beginning of the beta phase. In one season, she has 3 million downloads.
Yeah.
It wasn't that she has a great show. It's a great show.
3 million.
3 million downloads. The reason why it's structured a certain way is how it's broadcasted and how it's distributed and how it's shown to the community is giving people a different type of level of access to her beautiful talent.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's WINJECT Music, the record label side of it. There's a lot of moving parts with this.
Yeah.
There's a purpose behind it, is being able to get people eyeballs and get people's earbuds on her without her trying to say, hey, listen to my music. That's a number one problem for record labels or someone that's a great talent, is getting somebody to really consume their content. What they're going to do is they're going to start seeing how popular you are, and then they listen. Okay. Well, we're taking that table and we're forcing people and dumping it onto them and saying, you need to pay attention. They're the next best thing. That's one example. You have Dr. Ruth, the Brain Health Unchaining Your Pain show. 6 episodes, I think 7 episodes in, 270,000 downloads. And it's not even crazy numbers. Yeah. It's not even about just the downloads. We're bridging that gap and allowing her to be able to broadcast her talent, broadcast her guests in a certain way without sounding like, hey, come and sign up for my course.
Right.
We're doing that part for you. Right? Because it's the platform and the flywheel that you mentioned in the back behind the scenes. We created groups, and so it's like Discord meets Facebook and has a baby. Bam! That's what it is. Okay. And on the back end of this, you have people chatting you up and really promoting your stuff, because when you're promoting your show or you're promoting this other show, or you're promoting this other show, what's going to happen is you now start realizing, hey, the more I promote other people's things, the more people are going to start seeing my things. And then you're taking the algorithm and you're flipping it on its head.
Yeah. And also, I think it's important that, podcasters listen in.
Right.
If wishes were fishes, we'd all have a bigger net. And what Chris has done in the WINJECT community and what we're doing in the WINJECT community studios, all of these elements is a bigger net. So don't wish, just jump on and join in, because the more people, it's like the abundance factor. If we have more people on board, more people know that we're on board, and then we can actually announce and keep that excitement level going and keep the growth and attention on what we're doing. And I don't want to diminish this other fact, and I want to kind of spin it off on the educational business, Chris, is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's continuing to skyrocket, and there's no shortage of opportunities to learn. And that's the other essential thing that I think you tapped on earlier, was the ability to accelerate your learning through focused attention with our guides and the people that are helping you along your journey. So we're meeting you where you are. So kind of expand on the educational piece of that.
The educational piece is the most important piece. Without the educational piece, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because we can create a party, but if we don't have any end result, then what's the point?
Yeah.
You can have a great show and be a great talent, but if you don't have where you're driving them too many places. If you drive them into one spot, it's one big, huge pool. You talked about that one big, huge net. We're catching everybody in together, and we're not forcing things on people. We're going to allow them the how-to. That's what I focus on, is the success ratios of completion. When people sign up for a program, product, service, and good, that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
That's the accreditation, and that's where the trade schools, and that's my background and where I come from. And me, selling my courses and my things, and me being the first only independently owned trade school operator and sold it to 67 brands in America. What I essentially did was I leveled the playing field. And when I leveled that playing field, I need to focus now on completion ratios and fulfillment. So trade schools are a little different. Trade schools, when you go to a trade school, you're going for a specific trade. When you complete your trade school, you now need to go into pass and review and get placed into a job. That's how to keep their government funding. That's where you need to be over 90-something% to complete. I'm bringing that same methodology that I have used in the last, 11 years, and I'm applying it now to media, because I've already done it for myself. I've already done it for trillion-dollar industries and all these other billion-dollar companies. I'm just going to take the same methods that I have used, ethical methods, and that's the most important key here. You have here so many people go, where do you make money? I'm not doing this to make money. Okay? We're not doing it to make money. What we're doing it for is an infinite game of watching global collective impact happening.
Well, I think also, just to be fair and transparent, money is the byproduct of doing great work.
Yeah, it's just it shows the world shows you value. Yeah.
It will just show up. It's not the primary focus. It goes back to that relationship building, that giving back, the community effort. And that's really, our heart, I know that my heart and your heart that's where we're at. That's what we focus our attention on, is how can we support and add value to the community and continue to support this. And your background automatically allows you the opportunity to see a different perspective in the podcasting arena. And the win-win effect has been very successful, productive podcast, and you brought lots of amazing talent on that podcast as well. So now bringing these two things together allow you to see and visualize what can take place next.
Right. I saw a huge gap. I never wanted to just do a show. I never did. I just needed to, when I went to launch my show, it was just going to be for the first couple seasons, and I was going to go about my life after that. It was my way of training 16 to 18,000 reps in America on how to enroll students properly into programs to focus on the placement ratios and the success ratios. That's all it was for.
Yeah.
And when it took off, I didn't even do video for the first 2 seasons. it took off and everybody was listening and streaming and downloading. And I was like, well, damn. Then when the deal went through for the trade school programs, I was left with a really kick-ass show.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't want to just give it up. Well, I started reaching out to some of these podcast agencies, and I realized that it was set up in a certain way, very similar to a music industry.
Yeah.
To where it was legal loan sharking, and they're only going after sponsors. I'm like, you're only going after 10% of the pie.
Yeah. Why not get a bigger piece of the pie?
Right. I was like, why are you just going after sponsors? I don't understand. Like, what is so big about these sponsors?
Yeah.
And they're low-level sponsors. So, I mean, if you're not like Kobe Bryant, or you're not a major brand like was it Kanye West? Okay.
Yeah.
He came out of the show. Anything you put his name to, he increased, and people don't understand about business. His name next to with the Gap, you're looking at $2 billion jump. Okay.
Yeah.
In stock just by his name. That's influence. And the only way to get there is by other people.
Yeah.
Other distribution channels. You can't do it by yourself. It's impossible.
Like drafting in NASCAR,
Right.
You're going to save a lot of gas if you're tied up with somebody that's a little bit further ahead, or a little different channel or a different lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. I want to talk a little bit about this because I think it's important. What's your opinion, Chris, on the ability, or why would somebody want to consider, a business owner, why would they want to consider a podcast now? Because in some circles it feels crowded, and then other circles it feels vacant.
It's wide open. It's wide open.
So tell us what your thoughts are on that, because I really want to dive into this idea and share some thoughts with people that may not know.
Well, podcasting is one surefire way of reaching your people that want to listen to you. Perfect example, you look at email ratios. I don't believe email marketing is dead. You just don't know. You don't have enough, I guess, understanding on what your potential prospective buyers want to listen to or want to consume content. You have to be able to meet them in a certain way where they can consume your content. Like podcasting, I want everyone to think of as just the afterthought of you. It's to be able to listen to Audible, right? It's the audio version of what you do. Okay.
Right.
That's just a way. But if I went to just subscribe to your show, and I subscribe to the Pirate Broadcast, which I am, and I get a notification when you drop a new episode every time, right on my phone.
Yeah.
That's one direct way to talk to your buyer. It's one direct way to increase your brand awareness. But here's the problem with podcasters. Most podcasters, they get on, and then for the first minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's all sounds like everybody else. Even on social media, same clips, looking the same. Mm-hmm. That's how it looks saturated, right?
Yeah.
But that's an illusion. I don't care about intros. I don't care about anything. Meet them where they are and what they want to hear. That's your hook. Well, that's where most people don't understand. And that's what we have done with the Jess Lee Roadshow, Dr. Ruth. We have Mark Jenkins, celebrity trainer of P. Diddy, Mary J. Blige, Busta Rhymes. I mean, I keep going down this list if you want me to. Beyonce. His show coming out. What we're doing for his show is we're giving his people and the people that in his ambassadorship, he's got over 20-something years of training, high-level stuff. We're going to take his show and put people in a way to consume his content. And for brands, it gives them a different glimpse on who you are and what you do. You're giving them a level of access they never would have access before.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. Powerful.
And it's available right now where we are in WINJECT. Talk a little bit about, I want to find out what kinds of programs and what kinds of talent. You mentioned a few, Dr. Ruth, Jess Lee. And I know that there's a lot of talent already in the WINJECT community. Can you kind of expand on that so people can get a grasp on
we don't just have podcasters. We don't just have podcasters.
No, we don't.
We have Be Your Own. You got Samantha Duran, great personal friend of mine. She's Forbes 30 under 30. She has her own membership for female-centric businesses. They have to obviously be in a female type of world. She had Critics Clothing. I mean, she's done so well in her life. She just provides another resource. We have the Alpha Hippie group. They do have a show, but that's just leveraging podcasting. It's about giving people access to you and what you do in a different way. So you have all these free courses and all this content that you're going to consume to really empower you. Our job is to put you in a position to win. Yeah. That's our only purpose. And some people don't even know how to win because they're still trying to figure out the method. Okay.
So when you have still trying to connect the dots,
and there's nothing wrong with it. I was there once.
No, everybody's there. Everybody crawls before they walk.
Right. What's up, Gabe?
Gabe, man, what's going on, brother? Yeah, Gabe has a great effort. He's putting Gabe is putting together a inventory of all the live streamers on LinkedIn.
I saw that today.
LinkedIn live streams. Go check it out if you get an opportunity. So great one to connect with out there. I want to ask you, Chris, personal question. What podcasts do you like to listen to, and who is inspiring you these days?
That's a great question. Jordan Peterson. People say they have their list. I have one. There's one person is on my bucket list to interview because I got something to say in a good way. But me, I don't know. Like I'm like one of those guys that likes to consume different types of content. I don't like to listen to just business stuff. It's more spiritual things I listen to, not the how-tos, but just sometimes just eavesdropping on a conversation because there's different types of hosts. Yeah. You know, you have a host like Joe Rogan, perfect example. He's the biggest podcaster in the world.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an intro. We're live.
Fires it up and talks for 2.5 hours.
And lights up a cigar and just talks shit for a little while. But then but people consume the content because it has so different wide range of shows and different types of guests. And he's been famous in like 5 different ways. There's probably even more than that. Okay. So
no kidding.
You have other people that are trying to sell a program or just having a really good conversation. What podcasting, that's why I love Jason and Zach when they would do the Thursdays, and they'll be back soon on Thursdays. Why I love their show. It's just like someone eavesdropping on a conversation. That's them in real life.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. They're just going back and forth, having a conversation.
But in taking that type of show or whatever show you have, and that's what we're here to do. So, and here's another thing that most people, we're a little reluctant on being able to kind of come on board with the beta test, right? Yeah. And that's one of the things why I did a beta test, okay? The why behind a beta test is I need to be able to tweak it a certain way where if you have an existing brand, why would you come on board this? Well, I don't want to do anything with your brand. That's your brand. I don't want to label you. If you wanted to come on board and relaunch your show on WINJECT Studios and be an original show, that's up to you. But if you just want to be a part of a community, you don't even tell people that you're part of WINJECT.
Well, just like live streaming, I take my live stream and I go straight, it goes straight into the podcast. And then it goes into a transcription. There's a lot of ways you can contribute to your own success.
Right.
And you need to find Jordan Peterson. Yes.
Right. Please.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll happen soon. It'll happen soon. I'm getting really close by actually the proximity of touch too close to his groups. So I'm getting close. It'll happen soon.
And that's what it takes. It just takes a little bit of effort here and there. And it's, I did a beta test last night. I love it, Gabe. So you have to share that out with us.
No, but one other thing real quick before we move on to another question. I think this important also. I do consume a lot of content just by looking at interviews. And I like to consume different types of interviews because that's where I get a lot of, it piques my curiosity and it gives me other ideas on how I'm able to help other podcasters come on board the community because I'm consuming a lot of different types of wide variety of shows.
Yeah.
If I'm consuming a wide variety of shows, I'm now exposed to what they do. So with what they do, now I have an idea. So if I say, for instance, if I had someone named Jessie come on board and she has a show and she's trying to reach this type of demographic. Well, I've seen that type of show before distributed, and I know the cream of the crop and the top ones to do it. Well, this is how we can package you, but there's bridge points. So that's why I consume like there's a TV that I have right here, over here on this wall.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm working, sometimes when I'm in my home office, I'm watching. All I do is watch interviews all day when I'm working. The purpose behind that is I'm getting ideas on how to package people a certain way. The perfect example, you have Julie Chan's show. Her show's coming out. I love Julie Chan. She has not just a face for TV. She has such a massive personality.
Yeah.
A massive personality. And man, she just hasn't been packaged and hasn't been displayed the right way.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do for her show. I was like, listen, I said, we can end up having networks on board WINJECT Studios. It's not just for podcasters. This is for music. This is for obviously distribution for TV. I'm brokering deals for reality shows. I want everyone to view us as a way for us to broker the deals and broker sponsors and broker things for you. That's what we're here to do. We're putting you in a position to win and allowing you to stay in your lane and be the talent if you decide to do that. Yeah. Whatever you want to do, because most people don't want to do a certain thing in life. That's for you. It's your life. Doesn't matter to me what you want to do, but I'm not going to allow you to be diminished or be in a certain situation where you feel like you can't do something.
We just want to support you wherever you want to be.
Right.
You know, yes. Yeah. Use the same methodology. Chris, we are kindred spirits. Yeah, you and Gabe should connect. I mean, Gabe should be part of the network.
I know he actually tagged. I'm not sure Chris Ross. There's another Chris Ross. I think it's another John Smith in this world. But John Smith is the most like name. But I actually own the rights to my name because I hate my name. But there's another Chris Ross he tagged. Yeah, I'm not changing it. But it is what it is. But Nina Perez is another one. Nina is wow,
awesome.
The Puerto Rican Oprah, man. I'm telling you, she just comes on. She actually inspired me at one of the low points that I had back in July, and I was watching her show, and it brought me to tears. Because behind all that pain, behind all the stuff that you have going on in the world, sometimes all people need is just a helping hand and showing them the way. Yeah. That one little move, that one little millimeter move, you can make a huge impact in someone's life.
That's why kindness is cool and smiles are free.
Right. Yeah, man. That's what you do. I actually dropped your tag in a conversation that I had. Was it 2 days ago? I was like, I said, what did I say? It's like, people just want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, you know?
Yeah. That's exactly right.
I was like, where did that come from? I just quoted Russ Johns. Spending too much time with this guy.
Yeah. It's like quotes. So the big question of the day, Chris, why would somebody want to join a podcasting and media network like WINJECT?
For exposure.
What's the big effort that is going to accelerate?
Podcasting is a lonely game, bro.
Yeah.
It's a lonely game. It's you can easily look online on social media right now on Instagram, be like, oh, I'm gonna do my post like this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, even the post on this is what I have engagement groups. I own engagement groups, okay? And these engagement groups are organic because they know me and they know the companies that I would be involved with.
Yeah.
With Instagram, and then you have another show coming out. I'm going to keep going on this list. Ella May. She has InstaFam Academy. She's been tied into some major people. Yeah. Major people. She got huge trucks. Networks. I met her through trucks. A huge network of people. Yeah. Her show's coming out 1 degree. I'm working with high-level entrepreneurs in that 1 degree shift. The Instagram and all this demographics and all this algorithm stuff, okay? People are posting long pieces of content. No one cares.
No one cares about your stuff.
No one's going to listen. No, they're not. You might like their stuff or comment on social media, but they're not going to go listen to your show because you just sent a 5-minute clip on social media.
Yeah.
And that's the best. It's a highlight clip. So you're putting a highlight clip of your show. Why would they want to consume your show? You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's a lonely game and there's not a lot of help out there, that's what a community's for.
Yeah.
Like say Nina. This is just as much Nina's community that it is mine or yours. Everyone is here to contribute. Everyone's here to collaborate. Everyone's here to share ideas. share insights about what works, what doesn't work, what works for me won't work for you. What works for Nina is not going to work for a Julie Chan. They have their own message. They have their own style. Like, yes.
That's the beauty of it. That's
the main thing. Right. Yeah. So if it's making it a no-brainer for people going, I need help without trying to pay someone for help, because everybody is a guru. Let's be real.
I'm not a guru. I am not an expert. I am not a guru. I am somebody that has an abundance of experience.
It's you might think that's what the whole point is, though, bro. Yeah. It's about experience. Like, listen, here's some ideas. Do what you wish with it.
Yeah.
But it's also, even with the one thing that you're seeing inside of the community right now, they're posting like it's social media still. Inside, like, hey, I have a new show just dropped. No, tell me about your show.
Yeah.
Why do you like your show? So you're now starting to see my call centers and the admin staff start to ask questions.
Yeah.
Why should we listen to your show?
Yeah.
We're like, what? That's what the community's for. It's communicating back and forth. And it's important for you to mention the great Nazi.
Call me out when I'm falling down.
Right. It's important for mention the great Nazi Kinsoon, a fitness coach out here in the UK. But she's not just a fitness coach. She is changing lives on a massive level. Is giving her a different way of being seen.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's like she doesn't even have a show.
Yet.
Well, though she's on WINJECT Studios. When was it WINJECT Radio? These live. She has her own live channel. Yeah. But it's not even just trying to get people to go live and obviously giving them access to other people. It's about giving them a helping hand and saying, this worked for me. This isn't going to work for you. But that's what we're all here to do. When you get to a certain point on a level of success, they're not going to know who's running this bad boy. They're like, I don't even know who runs this place.
It runs itself. That's the beauty of it. I want to ask you one more question, Chris, before we wrap up. And I just want to make sure that, damn it.
Yeah, I'm going to put it back up. Yeah.
He's how I approach things.
Yeah, dude, come on. I can't wait to meet this guy because I've seen him all over everywhere.
Yeah, he's awesome. The reality is, I have my thoughts on this, and I know that you have your thoughts on, or we've talked about this. And what is it that you've seen, this trend that a lot of podcasters, what's the one thing you would say that they fall down on that causes pod fade? What is it? Where they need to step up and join in the community? Because I know that the thing that they fail on is the thing that we are helping with. So what's your experience on that?
The same thing that destroys dreams in every situation in life. You're looking at everybody else.
Yeah. The comparison.
That's all they're doing. I want to do my show like this. I mean, perfect example. If you wanted to do start with your show art, right?
Yeah.
Well, I need to get a show art. Well, I'm going to look at everybody else's stuff and see how they get there. Put your own show art up. Like, who cares what it looks like? It's not the show art. Yeah, do your thing. If you don't, a perfect example. I had someone come on board the community the other day, and I asked them, "What color scheme do you like?" What they're like, "What do you mean? I think my brands should do it this way because it's medical stuff." And I was like, "Well, I need a blue." I was like, "What colors do you like?"
Yeah, what color do you like?
I like yellow. Okay, why wouldn't it be yellow?
Yeah,
this is your show. Stop looking at everybody else. No one cares. No one really does it. They really don't. But they're going to looking at comparison and looking around everybody else and seeing what's cool.
Yeah.
What's cool? Like, well, what is cool? Being you.
What's trending?
And enjoying yourself. Even some of the music side of this. We have Music Breaker. What their job is, what we're doing with the community is they have independent artists and they want to get their music out there. We're going to leverage podcasting and putting their music. You get paid for that.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm putting money. You ever seen someone like a kid cry at Toys R Us on the ground? That's how I feel sometimes with people that are like a little like, I don't know if I want to do this, right? Do you have a trial? No, I don't have a trial. I don't need to do a trial. Once you're inside, you're never going to leave. Okay. Yeah. It's like, why would you want to? But the kid at a candy store, a kid at Toys R Us crying on the ground and realizing they haven't got the toy.
Yeah.
This might not be the right spot for you.
Yeah.
It could be
instant gratification is not.
Yeah, you don't need that stuff. I would much some of the best shows that I've actually was a guest on had such a minuscule following. I'm talking about like they had like, I don't know, 500 following, but the show was great.
Yeah.
They ask great questions, but here's the problem.
They just haven't had the opportunity to get the exposure and the traction that WINJECT Studios can.
And that's the whole point here is to be able to, like, even some of, of course we have some major star power inside of this thing and some shiny objects that are really going to attract people onto you.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point. So if you're a part of WINJECT Studios, you now have access to where you got these booking agents. Okay. I'm about to piss some people off right now. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. You have these booking people that like to book people for shows.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about this I
get emails all week long.
Oh my gosh. And this person would be great for your show. Well, this person won't be great because you don't have that many views. Who cares about that? It's about having conversations.
Oh, don't trigger me on that.
I'm telling you. Nina was sending me a message.
My marketing team wants to know what your numbers are.
Oh my God. So here's what I did. Perfect. Nina, we won't call their name out. Okay. So Nina is if you're still watching this, Nina sent me a message and was like, this person sent me this message and said, I don't have enough streams on my YouTube for them to come on your show. I was like, what did I do? Instantly, I went to ego, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to reach out to some of the biggest people that I have and put them on the show, and her numbers will go nuts. Why I did that is because who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Like and they didn't even have the numbers on their show to match what their requirements were.
You don't know me. Why are you judging?
Like, what I like to do is I like to view people when I see people that have, that's how I met Trucks. To be honest with you, I was like, wow, this dude is like speaking truth. I love his energy. I look at energy before I see anything. Energy doesn't lie. So when I see someone's energy, and it's not even being distributed the right way or being into a situation where they have capacity to recycle that energy and look at an intercollaborative, energy space, an energetic space to be able to where everything expands. And I'm going to go all the way down this deep rabbit hole because you know me. But when I go down this deep rabbit hole, it's hard to come out because people don't understand. I'm speaking truth, not illusions. Yeah, there's Nina. So I'm speaking truth to this and giving people access to certain things where who cares what the demographics are? Yeah. Do you like this person? Would you have a great conversation? That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Just have a conversation.
And my response back to somebody that did that to me was, I build relationships. Likes never paid the bills.
No, man. I mean, you can come and like my stuff all you want, but it doesn't mean you're going to buy anything.
Yeah.
I think, and even to I'm going to say this other little thing, and I'm going to put my little exclamation mark into this sentence. Even with the ones that are trying to come on shows just to gain exposure, they're playing a finite game.
Yeah.
They're only in this game to get something for them. That's it. Yeah. What can I do for you? You know who I like is the guy that obviously I'm not going to, I already can say it now. 75 Hard, Andy Frisella. You know what I love about his website, and we've been obviously going back and forth on different things. Someone told me that I sound like him. I was like, what? I was like, I know who he is. But what I love about his website, I was talking to my manager, Steve Virginia, last night about him. What I love about his website, he has a spot on his website. You can request to have him come on your show for free.
Interesting.
You just need to sell him. Because he hasn't, what he says, and I'll find the link somewhere. Go to his website. I
got to go check that out.
I thought it was the dopest thing. This guy's got 2 million followers. This is why he has 2 million followers.
Yeah.
It's because he has ambassadorship. He doesn't care about what. Like I had someone the other, was it 2 weeks ago, try to get me to pay him to come on my show, and I have more reach than he does.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is interesting.
Interesting.
Hey, and then went back and forth, and then he realized that whom he was speaking to, not me, but obviously about the brand and different things.
Sure.
Especially if they don't actually understand my background and realize that he was a sales guy.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy. I'm the wrong one.
I'm not the guy to be sold here.
I'm not, dude. I'm telling you. It's not going to be fun for you.
That's the beauty of it, Chris. That's the beauty of what we're doing. That's the beauty of what's taking place in the industry is people are going to realize that there's alternatives to just getting a sponsor in big numbers and thinking that the ego is the place to go, because it's not. The ego is not the place to go.
Can we address this real quick? Can we address this?
Yes,
just real quick.
yes.
I want you to finish your thought, though. I need to address this. Remind me to put this back up in here in a second. But go ahead.
Okay, yeah. But the reality is we have an opportunity to take the high road.
Yes.
To actually generate that goodwill, that enthusiasm, that interest, and allow people that want to hear the message, that want to participate, that want to show up every time, to actually create, and we can improve our content. We can continue to grow and evolve and exchange these ideas every single time, every time we fire up the microphone. And I just want to appreciate, extend the appreciation I have for the community, for what you're doing and why we're doing it and continuing to grow with it. So
no, I appreciate that. I mean, I couldn't do it without you. I couldn't do it without you, to be honest with you. It's funny how when we met, I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's got so much freaking knowledge on so much. You've been exposed to so much stuff, right? Yeah. I was like, wow. I was like, this is going to be perfect, because all these ideas, of course, here's my head, right? So when I start having all these ideas, I start to look at not what I can use someone for, is what can we do together?
Yeah.
Because there's so much
opportunity. Creative event can take place.
There's so much opportunity out there in the world, but the people are so oversaturated by so much noise. Yeah. They get lost in so much stuff. But if they are actually ask people what they're looking for. That's one rule. Yeah. What else can I do for you?
Yeah. How can I add value to your day? I say that all the time.
Yeah, but how can I add value? But that's been overly said.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do for you at this present moment, do you think, that can make a level of impact in your life, short-term or long-term? Is there anybody that I've interviewed that you would like to interview, or you at least like an introduction to?
Yeah.
That's the problem with people, because people are holding on to information and holding on to what they think they have. And these are some of these speakers out here.
Yeah.
I don't like podcasting because I don't want to give away all my stuff. Well, you just let me know right now you're playing a finite game. You think what you know in your head, right?
That's a limited belief.
Oh my gosh. And I'm going to buy something from you?
Yeah.
See my point? So I'm going to put this back up for Nina, and it talked about the integrity of your numbers and people paying. If you have access to this community, you have access to the same people we have access to.
Yeah.
All you have to do is send a message. Hey, I would like to. It's literally inviting people to one party and going, now I just eliminated all the booking stuff.
Yeah.
These booking people are going to have a hard time trying to get someone to come onto the show. I'm like, well, you can just be a part of WINJECT.
Yeah.
And I can get you if you're a part of WINJECT, then guess what? I'll come on your show for free.
Yeah.
Right? Some people, it's about pouring into communities.
But I was curious the first time that somebody says, how much do you charge to get on your show?
Nothing.
I just started laughing. I was like, that's a great question. Mm-hmm. It's free 99. It's like,
yeah, free 99. Would you say free 99?
Yeah, free 99.
I like that.
I just want to, my goal is to highlight you. I'm inviting people that I'm curious about, people that I want to know, and people that I want to talk to. And it's not necessarily that there's, 1,000. Yes. Russ Hedge.
Yeah. I was looking, you can see my eyes going over here, all these comments. Yeah. I was saying ignoring. I'm sorry.
And the reality is that we have an opportunity to do great work in the community, great work in the world. And my goal, Chris, is to help more people. And this is one avenue that I can actually shine in, because live streaming, content creation, you know it. You've been around me long enough to know that I got a few days experience in this stuff.
A few days.
And yeah.
I got a couple hours in this. Yeah.
I started this morning early. So, but the reality is we all have an opportunity to contribute. And as long as we're doing it together, we can all help each other out. And the results are incredible when we're not doing it alone. Mm-hmm. So,
well, that's the whole thing out there in this world, is that people don't like to be ignored. Yeah. And no matter how they like to, if they don't want to admit to that or not, But I'm telling you right now, if I was speaking into this microphone and then no one was tuning in and I'm only talking to myself, then what's the point of me investing into a show? That takes money.
Yeah.
It's not free to start a show and especially even pouring in all your energy into something where you don't see any return and you're lost.
Yeah.
It's a graveyard for shows out there that are starting a show and they don't have people out there that really want to help someone.
Yeah.
I don't want to do a show. Like,
yeah.
Well, you can. If you have the right people around you that live and die by this one methodology, is put people in a position to win, and what else can I do for you? It's all about the random acts of kindness. Like, Russ, what can I do for you, do you think? That maybe, is there any kind of connections that I can make for you?
Yeah.
Like, because that's the whole point. Because when you're doing that and you're putting all that positivity and love into the world and out, guess what's going to happen? Something great's going to happen to you.
Bingo.
It's really not that difficult. It's really not that difficult.
It's not
to make
that
an
difficult
impact
at all.
Yeah.
And the one favor I want to ask everybody today is go follow the Pirate Syndicate on LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's not that difficult.
I'm on a mission. I got a plan. I got a strategy. I haven't even shared with Chris yet. So it's going to be good stuff.
Would you like to share now?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll share now. I'll be happy to share now is one of the things I'm doing to help business owners, help more people, is that I'm going to, once I get to a certain level, I've been working with LinkedIn to get access to LinkedIn Live on the Pirate Syndicate.
I saw that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so once that is in place, I'm going to be creating a few other shows that'll be tied in with WINJECT.
Oh, that's my man, Steve. Black Label Nash.
Yeah. Black Label.
Up,
Sweet. And then what we're going to be doing is I want to take business owners and highlight their business in certain verticals, build some.
Oh, that's great, man.
That. And then afterward, we're going to take that content and create micro content. Mm-hmm. This will be an offer in WINJECT as well. And we're going to take micro content. So all these business owners that come on board, they're not going to pay to be on board, but if they want to, they can actually pay
I see what you did
micro
there.
Content
Sneaky
created
little joker. I like that.
From the content that we create automatically, and then they can use that in their social media posts as well. So
I have a tweak. Would you like my advice on this?
Of course.
Of course. The horse. All right. So it's live. This is an idea just out of nowhere. I didn't even hear this before this.
Mm-hmm.
What you could end up doing, and you went on a tripwire, and that's what obviously brought me to this idea.
Yeah.
Is packaging it in a certain way of doing a giveaway and doing like picking out your favorite episode once a month or favorite episode once a week and doing it for free and then showing them exactly what it is and taking that content, putting it inside a community where it's a never ending amount of content. And it's exactly what I'm doing here. And that's just an open door testimonial for you. That's going to attract more business because they see that you're playing an infinite game and you're playing in an abundant lifestyle.
Yep.
There's a tweet.
And then we drop that in the WINJECT community and anybody can participate.
Boom. Yeah. Well, my next mission is to be able to show people how they distribute their show and leverage social media to attract people in without giving too much out to pour people in. And how to do that is this very simple, very simplistic way, but you see it right now with social media. It's oversaturated, right? They think, but they're pouring in too much information. Just be like, listen, I dropped the video inside of WINJECT Studios.
Mm-hmm.
It's a phenomenal video. I just did it today. I posted today on purpose, like this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was on this show. Did this. I'm going live in this, but I'm not telling you anything else. You got to get there.
Yeah.
And that's my skill set. But
that's the little tweaks.
The small little ones.
Here's a perfect example for you today of how this works. This is real life scenario. I had an idea. The idea expanded. The contribution from the community directly from Chris took place. That's how easy it is.
And then from that could be that 1 degree could make a huge amount of difference on the longevity of the opportunity.
Yeah.
Easy. But the problem is seeing things in a different perspective. Right.
Yeah. And I suspect that there's probably a couple of other tweaks as it expands and grows.
100%.
Because this is the same thing we could do with the WINJECT page as well.
Well, the guy that you introduced me to last week, right? We talked about this and being able to display their talent and displaying their pages and displaying how many other shows they've been on.
Yeah.
In a very, very easy way. It's like wiki page meets LinkedIn. That's the way it looked.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the whole thing where consumers only want to consume things that are new and what's cool and easy to consume. Okay.
And I have somebody else I want to introduce you to. So
is it Jordan Peterson?
Almost. But they're in the educational, they're tapping into the educational space. So I thought you might be a good resource to have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm always down to meet new people.
All right, cool.
All right, guys. But
Chris,
any other questions?
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate what's going on in the WINJECT community. And everyone, as always, we're here, we're helping, we're providing guidance, we're providing support. Even if you just need to unload on somebody, just give us a call and show up in the WINJECT community. So
I'm excited. I appreciate you as well. I mean, like I said before, I wouldn't be able to do this without you. There's a level of just comfort there because you've been exposed to so much in your career and so much experience that I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm going to ask you. I'm like, well, that's one thing that I believe is sometimes my superpower. If I don't know, I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend. If I don't know something, I'm going to ask the people around me. But here's the missing ingredient on why WINJECT's important. That my level of connection is through my time on this planet and through my time in business has quadrupled and multiplied and so many other things. I have access. And when you talk about these courses, these offers inside the courses, you can't go to their website and get what they're giving you for free.
Right.
It's impossible. And they're only doing it based upon my relationship with them.
Yeah.
So you have access to what I have access to, and you just need to be a member. It's like what I think it's a day. I think it's a half a cup of coffee is what it costs.
Yeah. It's nothing.
A day.
Yeah. It's nothing. So winject.com/join. Just go there, sign up, join in,
see inside.
Tap on my shoulder, get in the forums. I'll be there.
Right. All right, guys. Peace out. Much love. Appreciate you, man. That was great. I enjoyed this.
Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And we're out of here. Till next time.
We'll try to be out of here once I find these buttons. I don't even know what I'm doing over here. All right, guys. Peace out. Much love.
A producer.
I do. Well, that's the whole point. All right, guys. Thanks.
Podcast is brought to you by WINJECT Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.winject.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.